Hollywood is tough to break into and stay successful due to trends, audience preferences, and ageism. However, a few actors have had long-lasting careers, starting as child actors and consistently delivering hits. Stacker has compiled a list of 25 beloved actors, tracing their careers from their big break to now, using reputable sources. Check it out to see if your favorite actor made the cut. Tom Cruise burst onto the scene in 1983 with 3 hit movies, Risky Business, The Outsiders, and All the Right Moves. He soon followed with turns in Top Gun, Rain Man, and Born of the 4th of July, which quickly cemented his status as one of Hollywood's most sought-after leading men throughout the 80s and 90s. In 40 years, Cruise won 3 Golden Globes and was nominated for 3 Academy Awards. Now in his 60s, he mainly stars in action films like Mission Impossible and the successful Top Gun sequel. Cruise is also known for his personal life, including his marriages and devotion to Scientology. A stage actor by training, Meryl Streep was already a Tony nominee when she made her film debut in 1977's Julia. She followed the World War II drama with several more critically acclaimed movies, like The Deer Hunter, Kramer vs. Kramer, and Sophie's Choice in the late 70s and early 80s. Meryl Streep, a highly acclaimed actor, has starred in numerous successful films over the past 5 decades, such as Mamma Mia, The Devil Wears Prada, Julie and Julia, and The Bridges of Madison County. She holds the record for the most Oscar nominations, 21, and Golden Globe nominations, 32, in history. Morgan Freeman began on stage, starring in all-black productions of Hello, Dolly, and The Mighty Gents, earning a Tony nomination in 1978. He gained popularity as Easy Reader on The Electric Company, before his breakout film, Eyewitness, in 1981. At 50 years and with over 100 films, Freeman has an Oscar for $1 Million Baby, and notable works like Driving Miss Daisy, The Shawshank Redemption, Invictus, and The Bucket List. He's also a prolific narrator, lending his voice to documentaries like March of the Penguins and Through the Wormhole. Nicole Kidman's breakthrough came in 1989 with Dead Calm, a film set on the Great Barrier Reef. Prior to this, she had been acting in Australian movies since 1983. The psychological thriller earned her international critical acclaim. In 1990, Kidman starred in Days of Thunder with Tom Cruise, whom she married that same year, propelling her career forward. These days, Kidman is best known for projects like The Hours, Eyes Wide Shut, Moulin Rouge, and The Others. More recently, she's branched into TV, with well-received roles in series like HBO's Big Little Lies, and Hulu's 9 Perfect Strangers. For her performances, Kidman has won an Emmy, 5 Golden Globes, and an Academy Award, becoming the first Australian to win Best Actress. Tom Hanks started his career on TV in the sitcom Bosom Buddies, before becoming a movie star with Splash in 1984. Hanks had hits like The Money Pit, Big, and A League of Their Own, and starred in iconic films such as Toy Story, Forrest Gump, and Saving Private Ryan. He earned over $9 billion worldwide and won 2 Oscars and 4 Golden Globes. Hanks is also involved in directing and producing. 2 of Angela Bassett's earliest speaking roles were in 1991's Boys and the Hood and 1992's Malcolm X. But it was her depiction of Tina Turner in 1993's What's Love Got to Do With It that earned her wide acclaim, with one critic calling it the performance of a lifetime. Despite her many awards, including 2 Golden Globes and an honorary Academy Award, Bassett continues to thrive. She's gained new fans through her roles in Marvel films like Black Panther and Avengers: Endgame, and she's also a familiar face on TV, starring in American Horror Story and 911. George Clooney rose to fame in the mid-80s on The Facts of Life, a spin-off of Different Strokes. He later appeared in a few episodes of Roseanne, before gaining widespread recognition as Dr. Doug Ross on However, Clooney quickly transitioned to the film industry, starring in movies like From Dusk Till Dawn, One Fine Day, Out of Sight, and Three Kings in the late 90s. In the early 2000s, Clooney impressed with his performances in The Perfect Storm and Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? He also gained popularity through the Ocean's 11 series. Throughout his illustrious career, he won 2 Academy Awards, one for acting in Syriana, and another for producing Argo. Although he has reduced his acting roles, Clooney remains active in producing and directing. Gwyneth Paltrow, daughter of Blythe Danner and Bruce Paltrow, is considered Hollywood royalty. Her godfather Steven Spielberg gave her a big break in Hook. She then became a bona fide star with roles in Say 7N, Emma, and Shakespeare in Love. After starting her own family in the mid-2000s with ex-husband Chris Martin, Paltrow began scaling back the number of roles she would accept. One of her most memorable from the last 15 years though is Pepper Potts, who she played in 7 movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. These days, she's best known for her lifestyle brand, Goop. Jennifer Lopez, a triple-threat performer, had a successful career as a dancer in the late 80s and early 90s, working with notable artists such as MC Hammer, New Kids on the Block, and Janet Jackson. She gained widespread recognition for her portrayal of Selena Quintanilla Perez in the 1997 biopic, Selena. Lopez excelled in both acting and music, with chart-topping hits like If You Had My Love and successful films such as Made in Manhattan and Hustlers. She has released 8 studio albums, received the Billboard Icon Award in 2014, and even had a Las Vegas residency. Though Leonardo DiCaprio starred in commercials as a youngster, his career really took off when he became a teenager. First, it was the TV series, Growing Pains, in the early 90s and his critically acclaimed performance in 1993's What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Later that decade, films like Romeo plus Juliet in 1996 and the box office smashing Titanic in 1997 made DiCaprio the star he is today. DiCaprio's resume is filled with major projects from renowned directors, such as Catch Me If You Can, Inception, The Wolf of Wall Street, The Revenant, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He is also an environmental activist and a member of the United Nations Messenger of Peace program. Additionally, his love life often makes headlines. Jodie Foster jumped into acting feet first as a preteen in the 1970s. She appeared in numerous Disney films, including, most memorably, 1976's Freaky Friday. But Foster first truly proved herself in Martin Scorsese's Taxi Driver the same year, which earned the actor her first Oscar nomination at the age of 14. After taking a break from acting to attend Yale University, Foster returned to the big screen with The Accused and Silence of the Lambs, both of which won her Academy Awards. Other big hits of hers include Panic Room, Nell, Flight Plan, Anna and the King, and The Mauritanian. In addition to acting, Foster works behind the scenes as both a producer and director. Frequently talked about as one of the greatest actors of all time, Robert De Niro's first major role was in a 1968 film called Greetings. He'd spend the next several years working on lower-budget projects before his heyday in the 1970s, 80s, and 90s. In 1973, De Niro collaborated with Martin Scorsese for the first time on Mean Streets. That film made him a commercial success and opened the door for projects like The Godfather Part 2, Raging Bull, Taxi Driver, and Goodfellas. With 2 Academy Award wins under his belt, De Niro is also an accomplished producer and the founder of the world-renowned Tribeca Film Festival. Brad Pitt gained fame in the 80s on TV shows like Growing Pains, Dallas, and 21 Jump Street. But it was his role in Thelma and Louise in 1991 that launched his career. This led to him starring in big-budget films like A River Runs Through It, Legends of the Fall, and Interview with the Vampire, The Vampire Chronicles. Pitt rose to fame with a breakout role and went on to star in blockbusters like World War Z and Mr. and Mrs. Smith. He's also an award-winning producer and environmental activist, known for his high-profile relationships with Jennifer Aniston and Angelina Jolie. Halle Berry was a beauty pageant contestant and model. She was first runner-up in the 1986 Miss USA competition, before she tried her hand at acting. Her breakthrough role was alongside Eddie Murphy in the 1992 rom-com, Boomerang. That led to a few other parts in the mid-90s before Berry was cast in the 1999 TV film, Introducing Dorothy Dandridge, which won her an Emmy and a Golden Globe. Berry starred in X-Men, Die Another Day, and Catwoman in the 2000s, but her most acclaimed role was in Monsters Ball, for which she won the Academy Award for Best Actress in 2002, making her the first black woman to do so. She now directs and made her debut with Bruised in 2020. Another former beauty queen, she competed in Miss World 1983. Malaysian actor Michelle Yeoh got her acting start in several Hong Kong action films, but she saw her career begin to take off in the 90s thanks to the 1997 James Bond movie, Tomorrow Never Dies, and Ang Lee's Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon in 2000. Yeoh's body of work has been a mix of period dramas, Memoirs of a Geisha in 2005, rom-coms, Crazy Rich Asians in 2018, and superhero films, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings in 2021. In 2023, she made history when she became the first Asian woman to win the Oscar for Best Actress for her performance in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Harrison Ford's career took off after his role in American Graffiti in 1973, thanks to his relationship with director George Lucas. However, it was his portrayal of Han Solo in Star Wars in 1977 that catapulted him to mainstream success. He has since reprised the role multiple times over the past 45 years. Ford has also starred in Indiana Jones, Blade Runner, and Jack Ryan franchises, as well as successful standalone films like Witness, Working Girl, The Fugitive, Air Force One, 42, and The Age of Adeline. He has recently appeared in 1923 and Shrinking on TV. In 1997, after years of work on the project, Matt Damon released his breakthrough movie, Good Will Hunting, which he co-wrote with his longtime collaborator and friend Ben Affleck. The film won the duo both the Oscar and the Golden Globe for Best Screenplay and skyrocketed them both into elite Hollywood circles. From there, Damon went on to appear in several hit films, such as Saving Private Ryan, The Talented Mr. Ripley, the Ocean's franchise, The Bourne Identity, The Departed, and The Martian. His work as an actor and producer has nabbed him several more awards and nominations, including 4 additional Oscar nods. Will Smith didn't start out as an actor but as a musician. In 1988, he won the first Grammy Award ever given out in the rap category for his single, Parents Just Don't Understand with DJ Jazzy Jeff. 2 years later, Smith parlayed that success into a career as an actor after landing the lead role in the sitcom, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Smith starred in successful films like Bad Boys, Independence Day, Men in Black, and I Am Legend in the 90s and 2000s. Despite his recent personal controversies, he won his first Oscar for King Richard at the 2022 Academy Awards but was subsequently banned from attending the ceremony for 10 years after slapping Chris Rock on stage. 1960 was a big year for Jane Fonda. It marked her professional acting debut in the Broadway flop, There Was a Little Girl, and her far more successful rom-com, Tall Story. A decade later, the captivating actor took home her first Academy Award for her performance in Klute. Fonda, with an Oscar, Golden Globes, and an Emmy, has an extensive resume. Notable projects include Julia, Coming Home, On Golden Pond, and Grace and Frankie. She also gained fame for her workout videos and is dedicated to political advocacy. Sylvester Stallone went from a struggling actor sleeping in a New York City bus terminal to an international movie icon with the release of Rocky in 1976. The film, which he both wrote and starred in, followed an underdog boxer as he pursues greatness. The movie also nabbed the Academy Award for Best Picture. After Rocky, Stallone made several action movies like Rambo, Cobra, The Expendables, and Escape Plan, receiving mixed reviews and success. However, these projects made Stallone the only actor with a #1 film in 6 decades. In 2022, he moved to TV, starring in Tulsa King on a streaming platform. Often considered one of the best action stars of all time, Jackie Chan began acting as a young boy in Hong Kong, taking bit parts in various children's films in the 60s and 70s. It wasn't until 1978, with the release of Snake in the Eagle's Shadow, that he became a known name. Now with more than 100 movies to his name, including the Rush Hour franchise, the Kung Fu Panda films, the Karate Kid remake, and Shanghai Nights, Chan is a bona fide international superstar, known for both his comedic chops and his martial arts skills. His films have grossed over $2.6 billion in global ticket sales. British actor Christian Bale landed his breakthrough role at just 13 years old in Steven Spielberg's Empire of the Sun in 1987. He went on to have a successful career as a young actor throughout the 90s, working on projects like the Disney musical, Newsies, the TV adaptation of Treasure Island, and historical dramas, Henry V, and Little Women. Unlike many other child actors who saw their star fizzle over the years, Bale has been just as successful, if not more so, as an adult. Some of his biggest hits have been American Psycho, The Fighter, The Machinist, American Hustle, and The Dark Knight trilogy. He has won both an Academy Award and 2 Golden Globes for his work. Sally Field started in TV sitcoms like Gidget and The Flying Nun in the 1960s. She then transitioned to television movies like Sybil and films like Smokey and the Bandit. Her versatility in playing both light-hearted and serious characters made her a sought-after leading lady in the 70s and 80s. After winning 2 Academy Awards in the 80s, Field had her choice of roles. She starred in commercial hits that became instant classics like Steel Magnolias and Mrs. Doubtfire, and critically acclaimed films like Forrest Gump and Lincoln. She also appeared on TV series like and Brothers and Sisters, and even made her way to Broadway. Denzel Washington got his start in the medical drama Saint Elsewhere in 1982. He then transitioned to the big screen by starring in war dramas like Glory, political dramas like Malcolm X, thrillers like The Pelican Brief, and heart-crushing Oscar winners like Philadelphia. With 2 Academy Awards, 2 Golden Globes, and a Tony Award under his belt, Washington has excelled both on screen and stage. His notable works in the 21st century include Remember the Titans, Training Day, The Manchurian Candidate, and The Equalizer. He has also produced and directed boundary-pushing projects like Fences in 2016. Unlike many stars, Julia Roberts didn't have a slow start in the industry. Within a year of starting her professional acting career, she landed roles in Mystic Pizza, Steel Magnolias, and Pretty Woman, which earned her 2 Oscar nominations. Roberts has starred in numerous rom-coms and dramas throughout her 35-year career, such as My Best Friend's Wedding, Runaway Bride, Erin Brockovich, which earned her an Oscar, and Eat, Pray, Love. She also owns a production company, represents cosmetics brand Lancome, and supports charities like UNICEF and the Red Cross. Edited by Jamie Etkin and Tim Bruns.